Hello and welcome to another Opium Pulse's Cheap Tech, the return. This is the second episode of our return. Today we have an SLR camera that I could find. Oh god, it looks good, doesn't it? So, a few claims that this is making. So we've got that it's 16 megapixels. I'm quite doubtful of that. Full HD 720p, HD photo video, not sure exactly what they're saying there, but 1280 by 720. And it has 4 batteries that need to go into it. This is the box. I guess the brand is probably HD Video Cam. Maybe that's just another claim from them. What we got on the side here, we have 16 megapixels, as I said before, a 2.4 LCD screen. It doesn't say that it's a touch screen. USB 2.0 mini port. Video format is AVI. There's the video resolution. And then we got photo format as JPEG, photo resolution 16 megapixel, and it tells you how much exactly it's meant to be. White balance, explore, resolution, ... Audio recorder, so it's got a microphone built in, or auto power off function, a digital zoom times 16, multi-language menu, webcam function. I don't know what that means. 4 AA batteries and internal memory storage media built-in 64 megabytes of flash memory. So it's actually got built-in memory, which I didn't expect. So as you can see, it's trying to be a bit more of a high-end camera. So this actually cost me £18.44. And the first thing that strikes me when I'm looking at the box is how small it is. So if I compare it to the camera box that we normally use for this series at the moment, there it is there. So that's the size difference between a normal DSLR camera and this mock SLR camera. But either way, we'll get rid of that and we'll have a look inside, see what we get. So it looks like it's got a lens attached, and it looks like it has a flash, although I don't see anywhere. Does it say anything about a flash? It doesn't. The eBay page states that it does have LED lighting lamp, can take up to 32 gigabytes SD card, which I won't be inserting, and a built-in speaker. Some things that I don't think it said on here. So let's open it up and see what it's like inside. So it's another picture. Is that a... No, it's just a picture on the inside of the box, which is similar to other things. Oh, it actually has, it just tells you how to put the batteries in here. So let's get this open. We have a manual. That's always good to see. Camera user guide. Okay, that's that's good. What we got? Product information. This section helps you to learn about the characteristics and functions of this video recorder. And then space comma, as well as its system requirement, package connect and parts identification. What else does it say? Well, it tells us how to use it, so we might have to use this because they're often not very intuitive, these devices. Oh, now it says built-in memory, no. Okay. Oh, it has a little bit here about the screen. Video mode. Okay. At least we all know how to use it now. Let's get the camera out because that's going to be the main part, isn't it? The bit that's actually interesting. So, the first thing that strikes me is it's extremely light. Here it is. Camera. No branding. Normally you have branding up here. If I get my camera... So this is the DSLR camera that I use. You can see that they've sort of tried to go for a very similar thing. It's substantially smaller, much lighter than a proper camera. Let's have a look. So it does have a grip, does have the screen. We'll take this off. Screen doesn't look too bad actually. Doesn't flip out or anything like that. And it has these 4 buttons, I assume direction buttons, an M button, not sure exactly what that's for, and it looks like the button to check out the media, a mode button. We've got the zoom in and out buttons by the looks of it, power button, and I guess this is the shutter button here. Oh, and we've got the flash button here to open up the flash. Oh, that's got stuck in already. Oh, God. Okay, so that's all mechanical, it's nothing digital there at all. Let's take off the lens cap. There it is. Digital zoom lens. Aperture of 5. Video lens. Yeah. Let's charge it up, and we'll have a little play around with it. Okay, so I obviously forgot we do not need to charge it up. We need to get batteries in here. So this is the battery slot here. Okay. Oh god, that doesn't feel good. Oh dear. Okay, it's in. Let's turn it on. That, I swear, that's very similar to what we had last time. So, looks like it doesn't have any internal memory because it's not really letting me do anything without a card in it. So let's get a cheap SD card that I've got somewhere, and let's pop it in. Okay, so we have got a 2 GB Toshiba card. Let's pop it in. Where does it go? Ah, here at the back, I imagine. Oh, looks like we also have what looks to be a mic port or headphone port. I don't know why you want headphones on this. And then the USB cable port. So, looks like it goes in this way. Doesn't click. Oh, it does. It does click. Okay. Let's try and take a picture. Whoa, that's a nice sound it gives you there. Okay, let's have a look at the modes. So this is a video mode. We'll try that. Okay, so it looks like we're actually recording video now. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we're actually recording video now. Okay. Let's have a look at the mode again. I guess is the mic. Okay. Oh, that's it. Let's have a look. Let's try out the flash, shall we? Ooh. Let's give you a bit of a front view of that. I wouldn't necessarily call it a typical flash. So maybe so M gets us into, I guess, menu that's meant to be for. There's the resolution, so we are having it currently at 4032 by 4032. Photo, so we can have single shot, self-time, burst. Let's try out burst. So let's go. I was expecting to be able to... Oh. Okay, that's interesting. It also tells us how many pictures we can have on there. So it says up there 4,733 currently. Let's have a look at the menus again. Quality, I guess we'll leave it on superfine. Exposure, it's interesting. We can change the exposure. Okay. Date label, we won't change that. And that's it. That's all the settings you have. Oh, we have more, sorry. Auto power in 3 minutes. Screensaver off. Sounds, you can turn the sounds off, I guess, when it takes a picture. And language is set as English. Frequency. Oh, it's at 50 Hertz. Okay. Format, I guess to format the card. Default setting to go back to default. And the version, the firmware version. Okay, so let's take it out, do some proper tests in better environments. So here I've taken pictures of some trees whilst using a tripod to allow for less camera movement interference and to give this camera a fighting chance. You can see here that there is again lighting issues and overexposure. There is a serious lack of detail and focus. In comparison, here is a similar picture taken using my Canon 800D. The camera is in full auto to give it the best comparison. There is obviously no real competition, but this is just to show the detail that the unbranded SLR camera was missing. Next, I have attempted to go for a more macro photography approach, attempting to get a close-up of this dead flower. When taking the picture, I see no attempt by the camera to autofocus, therefore you have no chance of focusing on something close up due to there also being no manual focus. To show what I was going for, here's another unfair comparison using the Canon 800D. This is probably the best picture I've been able to get from the camera, but again you can see that there's some lack of detail and the sky is showing as completely white due to overexposure. You can see from the picture taken on the Canon that the sky was very white that day, however the unbranded camera was unable to get any detail from that. When taking pictures with more distance, this does seem less of an issue, but then the picture does seem quite dark and again less detail. And in order to show details that have been lost in these pictures, here's some similar pictures that have been taken on the Canon. You can see that detail continues as you zoom in, even digitally. The digital zoom for the camera allowed me to see closer up in the viewfinder, but weirdly this didn't result in a zoomed in picture. I therefore resorted to literally putting the camera closer to these blackberries to snap an image. Again, here is what I was trying to do using the Canon's digital zoom. Next, let's test the video and listen to the sound quality during a video. This is how the audio sounds on the unbranded SLR camera. The video is actually surprisingly not bad on this camera considering the price point. In this video the sky is visible without too much exposure, you can see the movement of the plants and the colours are reasonably distinct. It of course could be so much better, but for the price it's not bad. So, a couple of things I've noticed after using this camera for a period of time. First point, there's no viewfinder at all, so the only way you can look at this is through live view. That's fine, but I think a lot of people would prefer to have some sort of viewfinder, because it's sometimes just a more comfortable way of taking pictures. Secondly, where it screws into the tripod, the threads on that is actually plastic. Whilst using it, I noticed that I was already starting to thread that and it probably wouldn't be long until it couldn't be mounted onto a tripod. Okay, let's move on to the numbers. For the pictures, the camera claims to be 16 megapixels. Well, when looking at the details of the picture, it was found to be 1280 by 960, meaning it is in fact 1.2 megapixels. This camera has also claimed to be either 1080p or 720p when it comes to video. Well, guess what? It's neither. The video in this is also 1280 by 960. Overall, I can't think of many uses this camera actually has. If you want a cheap camera for some sort of project, I've done previous videos on much cheaper cameras with a similar quality and smaller size. I also have plans for many more of these videos. Cameras can be bought for so cheap these days, spending another £10 on all this extra plastic really isn't viable. If you really want a cheap camera to mess about with, I personally suggest buying an old camera, second hand. It'll be miles better than anything you can get brand new at this price point. I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.